all a person has to do, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to click over here before I go in. Okay, before I go in, right? Before I go in, the link of what I'm talking about is right here. The link of what I'm talking about is right here. All you got to do is click on there, and it will give you over here.
If you play video,
the link is in the description box, right at the timestamp, along with
games a lot, you might be able to get paid for it. No joke. If you live in the U.S.
with the timestamp. Because I'm getting tired of some of these content creators who don't know what the fuck going on, and then they're talking. You're talking and don't know nothing. And this aloofness, there is a reason why the Democratic Party loses with the working class blue collar man. Is the aloofness. Is the, oh, I'm smarter than everybody else in the room. Okay. Now on the timestamp, I put down 7-minute and 24-second mark. But I'm gonna go a little bit further, right? Because I'm gonna continue this from where I'm gonna go back a minute earlier, around the 6-minute, 12-second mark. And I'm gonna tell you why I have a problem. I'm gonna tell you why I have a problem. What's going on, Yeti Black? What's going on? StreamYard messed things up though. Yeah, yesterday. StreamYard messed things up. Yes, everybody was talking about StreamYard fucked everything up. But yeah. Let me put up the let me put up the chat. What's going on, Yeti? I'm glad though you're here. But let me go ahead and start this off, right? And I'm going to do this real quick out of respect, and and put it up here because I'm gonna talk about this. Why I have a problem. I'll tell you why I have a problem. Identify the problem. If you want to solve a problem, you got to identify the problem. So we're at the 6-minute mark, 6-minute and 12-second mark of this video. Let's click on it.
Make it to a courtroom, mind you. But it worked. It brought her attention. And we've seen Fox News and other conservative news sites report on some of this stuff in the same way, because what they're realizing is that the gender wars, especially the black gender wars, are useful for fueling right-wing agendas and improving upon their standing with young men who don't know any better. We're watching the red.
Wait, hold on. That's the first thing you said that was correct. You're right on that. But at the same time, you got to understand the left wing it started it too. The left wing also have an issue as well. Anybody can watch The View. Anybody can watch these cackling hens downgrading the working class man. I'm not talking I'm talking about the working class blue collar man. The disrespect for the blue collar worker that's been going on since the 1980s. By the Ivy League, by the politicians that came from the Ivy League schools, and those within academia. So it's not just the right wing Yes, the right wing is the problem. But understand the aloofness by the left trying to speak for the working man while create policies that ignore the working class, the bougie types. I have a problem with. And FD Signifier is doing the bougie tactics that I cannot stand.
Pill go through a very insidious and, to be honest, scary evolutionary process. One thing I've said on numerous occasions is that this whole idea of I got sucked into the red pill by accident is kind of bullshit. It's true to an extent, but it obfuscates an important fact that I need people to realize, which is that red pill ideology is only a few short steps from normal attitudes that exist about sex and gender. And the reason why it's so hard to consistently combat these ideologies is because we're combating normative opinions that almost all of us have been soaking up since childhood. And this is
Wait. Hold on. This is why the history of the red pill needs to be talked about, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. A lot of these people got into this. A lot of them, I ain't say all of them. A lot of them got into it because of the issues like Gamergate, the issues like when the false imprisonment of Brian Banks, or stories like how the brick lady lied about being hit with a brick for denying a phone number. When you start seeing cases like, and then you got the Me Too movement. So you can't just sit there and say it's just the right wing when the left wing is doing it too. Those were liberal judges that sent a black man. The liberals say, well, we for civil rights. The liberals been saying we for civil rights. We did that, but then never want to hear of what a black, innocent black man like Brian Banks. And that's why people gravitated to somebody who so there's some people around here who's asking for, where's a fair trial? Where's a fair trial? And then the only option is somebody from the right saying it. While y'all on the left would say, well, it's just, believe her because she's a woman. When the evidence said, well, he was in the classroom when the alleged grape happened, and then she got on camera saying the grape did not even happen. Brian Banks lost 3 years of his best years. You can't. There is no. People are sucked into this because one side will say, one side will get up on their soapbox and say, yes, he did it. This is no better when Donald Trump did the exact same thing to the Central Park 5. Don't just say this is a left, the right wing doing it when the left wing is doing it too. That's on your side, FD. And you're a socialist.
This is why I've never taken seriously the left isn't doing enough for men argument, because
here we go. This is the reason why I have a problem. What you just said at the 7-minute and 10-second mark. The left has not done anything for the heterosexual male. They did not. Yeah. Man of Tomorrow said, I can't with people like this. Ask them one question. Did they took part in the last election? And who you vote for then? Mic drop. That's what I'm saying. I would like to ask him, who did you vote for? He better not say no Jill Stein. He better not say no fucking Jill Stein. He better not say some Green Party. He better not say Cornel West. He better not say any of that shit. Yeah, I believe Trump won the last election because of the extreme leftist nonsense. Anyone remember man spreading or the air conditioning and sex videos? Yes. Hey, George, I got that video on the man spreading. I got that video on private. Since you said that, I'm about to go right back into my archives and bring that video back up. See, some of y'all say, well, Big J, man, you was on that red pill. No, tell the truth. Why was there a law saying a man can't spread his legs open? I can't stand the Green Party. Yes, so I voted for Obama. I can't stand the Greens. Yeah, remember the Rolling Stone article about the fraternity assault? And it came out to be all sorts of wrong, but it was being promoted by the far left. Once again, it alienated a lot of people. Right. That's my problem with the left. Now, some people might call me a leftist, right? Yeah, I'm on the left. Well, I'm probably in the center, because, but at the same time, you don't say shit like that and expect the men, we're here for the working class man. We're here for the blue collar man, and then y'all put stories out here like this, articles bashing the same people who you want the votes from. I don't like the Green Party. I can't stand the Green Party. I'm pro new nuclear weapons. I want my nukes. I believe, I like the United States military. Talking about we need I hear Jill Stein talking about downgrading the military into to be a security force. America is too damn big to be to have a military about the size of fucking ass Germany. I'll never take the Green Party seriously. I look at them as hippies. And I'll say this too, the Green Party, in my opinion, they're like the Hoteps for white people. Okay? They're a Hoteps, but white. Anyway, this is where I have a problem with him. Right there at that 7-minute and 10-second mark. This is where I have a problem with him. With FD. You're talking and don't know shit.
Because the reality is we're doing everything we can under the circumstances that are presented to us. What that means is there's only so much creators and commentators can do on their own when they are in fact going against the very grain of society. The normative attitudes and opinions that lead to red pill ideology have to be deconstructed from the ground up. And doing that with YouTube videos is not easy. And when you're trying to change people's baseline opinions on society and gender and relationships and all that, you're going to sound radical and outlandish even when you're not. And that's going to make it very difficult to not turn normal dudes off when you're trying to show them a better way. So it's not that people aren't trying, it's that trying is not easy. And when
well, JFK said, John F. Kennedy said in 1962, we try things not because they're easy, we try things because it's hard. I'm tired of these ads. Okay? Get really tired of these ads. Let me cut this off.
And when excuse, I know it's coming from people who want to be coddled instead of taught to do better, who don't want their internal biases and misogyny and issues with women challenged. But
we're not talking about the issues with women. We're talking about the underlying issues on why men gravitate to the red pill. Because every revolution, every civil war, because I'm a student of his history, right? I'm a student of his history. Robespierre, Maximilien Pierre was a nobody. He was pushed to the fringes. Napoleon was an outsider. He wasn't even French himself, to tell you the truth, though. But yet he was came from the fringes. The people in Spain in 1920s and 30s, post World War I, that was already in the fringes. Young men was pushed from the fringes to the fringes, and they came out of the fringe starting the Spanish Civil War because they lost a lot of war, their manhood. When anytime when a society downgrades the manhood of those of the lower class, you are asking for revolution, or at least gravitating that society towards a place where nobody wants to go to. When you take a whole swath of young men, I'm talking about young men. Hold on. George said, and notice they talk about the toxic masculinity, however, isn't telling someone to man up. Part about the same toxicity, except it's coming from the left. Good. That's good. Good question. But the problem with FD is this. He didn't tell you what the problem is. If you're going to solve the problem, FD signifier, you got to know what the problem is. Where it's coming from. Young men are being pushed to the fringe. To the fringe elements within society. And then when they come out of said society, they're dangerous. There are about 25 people. If there was, I'm gonna use Jalen as a prime example. I'm gonna use him as a prime example of this. I'm gonna use Jalen, and I don't give a flying fuck if people say, "Oh, that's unfair." Nah, He's a prime example of what I'm talking about. That's somebody who is at the fringe, who's on the outside of normal society, who is pushed further into the fringe. He likes Red Supreme. He likes Obsidian. He likes the Manosphere, and he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's damn self either, and he don't have a job. And then he's going out on panels saying, oh, I'll fuck you until you bleed. Telling certain women that. This is what I'm talking about. You got to solve the problem. If you got to know the problem to solve the problem. That's why I said Professor Scott Galloway knows what the problem is. Even the white girl, shoe on head, knows what the problem is. And she says, well, maybe we might need to do X, Y, and Z. Even the white girl said, maybe we might need to do, recreate education. Maybe we might need. I remember that video she did last year about male loneliness. And FD last year, FD said, "Fuck these niggas." That's my point. Don't talk about the problem if you don't got the solution to it. And it's sad that this Negro don't have no solutions, but it took two white people to get it. I don't get it. That's why I said on the last video, black men don't want solutions. FD is no better than be just ignore on the other side. Y'all don't want to solve things. Y'all just want shit to continue so people can butter your bread. That's like that time though BJS was asked, what about boys? BJS said, what do you mean by boys? That should have told everybody not to fuck with BGS. That should have told everybody don't fuck with that bitch ass nigga named BGS anymore. BGS is fake as fuck. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Talking about the gynocracy this and the gynocracy is destroying boys, destroying men. Yuck, 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 yuck. But when it comes time to asking about, okay, but this happened to black young black men, young black boys, it's and that's it. Nothing. All this is just a scam on both sides of this. And FD did the exact same bullshit that BJS had been doing. And my problem, and I hear these women come on my oh, we like FD. You don't, men are supposed to be problem solvers, right? So if you got a problem, then have a list of ideas to solve said problem. Me, I know how to end the manosphere. I put that on my community tab 2 weeks ago. How to destroy the manosphere. But nobody read that. Nobody read my ideas of destroying the manosphere. I even said a video back about 4 or 5 years ago on how to destroy it. And it's not by directly approaching these manufacturing guys. It's actually creating actual policy to get young men to do X, Y, and Z. Make sure, recreate the public, what was it called? The TP. I forgot what it's called. I did a video on this last year about it too. Recreate the TPW. Read, and if you don't know what that is, the Public Works Administration. The Public Works Administration that FDR created. FDR took a lot of men, a lot of boys who was in poverty, and put them and have them working on government projects. Ike Eisenhower did exactly the same thing in 1954. Because back in 1954, when Eisenhower did it, when Eisenhower and Roosevelt did this, what happened? I want y'all to know what happened before, after World War II and before World War II. What happened? Crime went up after 1945. You know why crime went up after 1945? Because some of those boys, their daddies did not come home. Some of them people was orphans. Now I'm talking about post World War II, right? A lot of those kids was orphaned by World War II. So there was juvenile delinquency between 1948 and 1954. So when Eisenhower, and yes, I know people gonna say with Big J, but he stole black people's land to build the highway system. Listen, I understand that. I understand. Listen, y'all, I understand that part, but we're not talking about that part. I'm talking about we got these guys, he got these young men working and building the highway system, the Interstate Highway Act. Juvenile delinquency went down in some states. Same way like when Roosevelt, when he created the Public Works. There was a lot of impoverished men. Men was not working. Guess what? He created a system where men can come together and get employment. Guess what happened? Unemployment went down. Crime went down. But empty signifier, who's supposed to be a leftist, he ain't saying that. All he's saying is, well, you're a man and you suck. George, that's the issue. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. Idle mind is a devil's workshop. I have always been told that when you're focused on something, you have to worry about doing all this other bullshit. If your mind is focused on certain things, you don't have to go to a loser like Myron Gaines. When that, hold on, I'm gonna use myself, y'all. I'm gonna use myself about this idle mind, right? When I had a bad time, no matter what it is, a girl losing the football game, things like that, right? I go home and I got things to do after school. After I do my extracurricular activities, I got shit to do at the house. So I don't have to dwell on the bullshit I was doing when I was away from the house. But you got people over here who stand in front of who stand looking at the computer screen or their cell phone, the mobile device, and they see garbage like Myron Gaines. And you got people who say, "Oh man, I got broke up. You know, I was after this blonde-headed white. You know, you probably had some nerd over there who got friend zoned by some blonde head of a cheerleader squad. Instead of him worrying about doing what he need to do, he got this camera in front. Not camera. Got this phone, and he is Myron Gaines, or it's Tommy, or it's fill in the blank. Got nothing else to do. That's the point I'm talking about. If he got something to do, he wouldn't be online following and going to the fringes with Myron, with Tommy, with Kevin Samuels. He would have something to do. They need his money. That's how you destroy the red pill. Give these niggas something to do. Give these men, white, black, or whoever, give them something to do. Make them change their environment. That's why I keep on saying, stop trying to change Keisha, change their fucking environment. Stop terraforming the bitch. Terraform the fucking environment. And I want y'all to notice something too, though, while we on this. Notice that Donald Trump got rid of the Job Corps. Without the Job Corps, guess what this unemployed or underdeployed young man going to do when he comes home? Because he got high bills, he's frustrated. He's going to come online and listen to propaganda online why he failed in life. He's going to listen to Obsidian. He's going to listen to Tommy. He's going to listen to Fresh and Fit. He's going to listen to bitch ass B Jess over there. You got to create something else on the side to distract them from the red pill ideology. That will make it so in the more he works, more money's in his pocket. So he can travel. So he can do X, Y, and Z. That is what I'm talking about. No, I know I'm not dropping the link. Because the last time I dropped the link, Mela came over here and derailed the entire conversation. I don't want nobody to derail what I'm on. I want nobody to derail what the fuck I'm on. I want to talk about what I need to talk about so I can get off my chest. You got to create a structure to actually combat what you're against. But what FD says is, oh, well, man, it's your fault because, man, you're a man. He did this again. This is about the third time. The fourth time FD signifier. This is where FD signifier pissed me off. He does this all the time. This is about the fifth time he did this shit. The fifth time. Now, the first time he did it, I was like, okay. He may not know. Okay. But when I told FD, I actually told FD 2 years ago. I said, FD, no, it's this and it's this right here, and y'all. Wait a minute. I think FD Signifier showed up on whose panel it was, and I was on the same panel. What was it? DJ Kuda's panel? Was it it was either Kuda's panel or boring ass Bernard Riley's, because it was in the morning time. It was in the morning. It was me and FD Signifier and all them niggas decided to jump on in. Yeah, man, I'm gonna bash him over the head. You know how these manicured Carol ass manicured niggas are. They're like the dog pile. But like I told, like I said, I gotta get ahead of this shit. Because nobody is not going to address what is the real problem. I've been telling people what is the real problem. The real problem is there's two things going on. There's two things going on. You got the right wing who's using the gender war to prop up fat fascism. That's one thing. But you also have people who are left out of their society, left out of their own community, and they're pushed to the fringe. So the manosphere is already at the fringe of society. So they have no home to go to because they're in the outside of the Overton window. Y'all might want to look up the term, the Overton window. So you push outside of the Overton window to so much to the side that they have no home to go to but to the fringe.
Want to somehow be accepted in or regarded as doing better with those problems when they haven't actually. Doing this type of work, this type of content requires us to be critical of things that a lot of people see as mundane and offensive, and that's just the road we're on. For example, a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people got mad at Anthony Mackie for a couple of comments that he made on the Pivot podcast.
In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities.
To a lot of people, these comments are no big deal. They're benign, in fact. And I'm inclined to understand why they feel like this. However, what many people, myself included, people on the left, know is that this type of worldview is rooted in patriarchal thinking.
Wait, hold on. There is. See, this is the clueless. He's clueless. There is a degrading of masculinity in America. Anybody can look at the chart, the education charts. Anybody can look at of young boys being given Ritalin and Prozac. What are you talking about? It's not benign. Everybody can see that there is a eroding of boyhood and manhood. Our trade policy degrade the working class man. What are you talking about? Housing. You can't even get a mortgage with one income. What are you talking about, FD? This is what I'm talking about. This right here, I want nobody else to say a fucking thing. This is what I'm talking about. Right, hold on. Right, exactly. So taking care of your wife and watching after your mom is part of the patriarchy, I don't think there's anything wrong with what Mackie said. I don't think there's anything when he said it's hard to take care of your mama. It's hard to take care of your wife. With one income. And even if she is working too, it's hard when she's working and you're working. Men are supposed to do what? Protect and provide, right? So if men are supposed to protect and provide, but yet you got wages being stagnated, and then you got the cost of living going up, then it really is fucking up your masculinity. This is what I'm talking about. This ain't about, Big J is on the manager team. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Exactly what he's saying. Stay on what he actually said. This is where I have a problem with FD. Right there. He said, because you're a man, you ain't shit. Therefore, though, suck it up. When you create conditions that is difficult for men, for boys, historically, those boys, those young men will turn out to be the next Maximilian Robespierre, the next Napoleon Bonaparte, the next Adolf Hitler, the next Joseph Stalin. When you start pushing people to the fringe, don't get mad if they come back out of the fringe, out of the Overton window, back into the middle, and then they take things over in a violent way, in a way though you don't want to see.
And these can end up being patriarchal dog whistles, even when a person is not or just as normal in that podcast situation between men who have shown themselves to have sense and not be on red pill bullshit. Shout out to the Pivot Podcast. We'll come there in a second. But that language is also just as common on the Worst Red Pill podcast. And it shows.
Wait. Hold on. You see what I'm talking about? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? Now the men on here see what I'm talking about. First, though, you blaming him. Now, though, you blaming Anthony Mackie. Now, though, you're not blaming him. You're doing the same thing. You're virtual signaling yourself as well.
You how insidious this actually is. Those of us who've been involved in this discourse online recognize that pattern, and a lot of them jumped on Mackie, and maybe it was a bit unfair. Maybe it was overreaction. But when you're trying to fundamentally society, as I said earlier, that's kind of how it works. We've seen how his seemingly uncontroversial words and opinions about manhood have been used to justify more toxic and extreme ideologies about women and gay people, etc. Even
you did that, not Anthony Mackie, though. You did that. Anthony Mackie didn't say nothing about no gay people or women. That came from you. Let me end this. I already told people why I have a problem. I already told people why I have a problem. He don't want to solve a fucking thing. And I told him that I told FD Signifier myself when me and he was on that panel on Kudas. You don't want to solve shit. gotta find that live stream because I fell asleep on that live stream with FD. But the problem was BGS and Anger Man. They want to try. They were trying to prove themselves to him. No, wait, hold on. Anger Man wasn't there. Anger Man wasn't there. I commented on your comment. I respond to both of your comments, Queen, and I gave you the video with the link. The video link with the timestamp. The 7-minute and 21-second mark. And I actually played it at the beginning of this live stream. All I'm going to say, if you're going to stop the red pill, right? I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna repeat it because Queen Sunkiss just got here. Let me repeat on how to destroy the red pill movement, or should I say, see, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like this. You got to starve the red pill. Okay? You got to starve it. In order to kill it, in order to kill the red pill, the Manosphere, SYSBM, MGTOW, Passport Bros, in order to kill all the incels, in order to kill all of that, you have to starve it. They need new, fresh men, new, younger voices to take their money from. These boys, these men who donate money or give these individuals attentions are pushed to the fringe. So you got to create a structure that would prevent these young men and these young boys from going into the fringe. This is what Professor Scott Galloway was saying when he was on CNN 2 years ago. He said we got to create something to stop these young men from watching Fresh and Fit and Myron. You got to create a, see, like me, I will bring back the Public Works Administration. I'll bring back the Department of Education. I'll bring back what Ike Eisenhower did with the intercontinental the interstate highway system act. You put these boys to work. You give them jobs so they can have the opportunity to leave whatever condition that they're in. Training for construction, fast track training for construction, trucking, you knows what. So they can make money and they can make the best decisions in their life. I'm in a low income area. Oh, I make some money. Oh, I'm out of here. I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about the trailer park trash. Female. I don't have to worry about Bukisha. I don't have to worry about the white female but named Tammy. No, the trailer park Tammy. No, I go to a certain place where I can terraform my fucking environment. Instead of me being at a trailer park, some white boy be at the trailer park, or some nigga be in the hood, he's trying to terraform Keisha, and the white boy trying to terraform trailer park Tammy. They're trying to shame, blame, explain on that bullshit. And that's what a lot of these guys are doing online. They're trying to shame, blame, explain because they're stuck in life. That's why you got somebody like Rallo. Yeah, I'm about to go here with this. I'm about to preach on that jackball idiot. He's stuck in life. Moving one state to another. Pretending he's in a mansion. Go over there trying to ask for donation for a camera. You got these passport bros. Passport bros, they fucked themselves up. That soda is now its worst condition when they found it. And half them niggas are reprobates, I should say. You got to change the culture. It's not only you got to change the environment, you got to change the culture. Because we're normalizing the Rillos of the world. We're normalizing what's his name? What's his name from Dallas? I forgot his name. We normalizing this behavior. Oh, I'm a passport bro. We're normalizing SYSBM. I'm going to know the race of women to stun with black women. And I want people to be miserable like me. They won't. If you want to destroy the red pill ideology, you got to create a structure that will prevent new people from joining in. Let these 40-year-old clowns die out. Let them starve out. Let them starve in their own excrement. They don't need you to pour gas on their fire. Let that fire burn out. It's kind of the phrase, misery loves company. If these are miserable individuals, and their misery needs they need to be taken out of their misery, is what I'm telling you. But FD claims he cares about the shit, but yet he does not provide how to take care of that problem. You made a video to me? I didn't see it. You made a video to me? I didn't see it. But yeah, I said enough. I said enough. You know, I don't want nobody come to me talking about I'm hating and all that shit. I know what the problem is. And I know what the solution has to be. That's why I said, though, I'm not talking to these management niggas on these panels. I already told people, if I got to address these management idiots, it's going to be off YouTube. So don't ask me to be on the panel with y'all. Because at this point, I'm I told y'all back in December. Listen, nigga, I'm beyond talking to y'all at this point. Hold on. I did this morning. It's not uploaded. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna take my ass to bed. Been at work last night. But and I'm gonna tell you something. Like I told people, 2026 is coming. And you think I'm still gonna be on YouTube talking to you? To any of these red pill niggas? They need misery to survive. And we can't, and I told people this for years ago. Oh, you answered. Answered my question. I'm gonna post it on TikTok. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm done. I said what needs to be done, but I really want to talk about what happened last night because I really want to go off about what happened in the Middle East. I really want to talk about that shit. That really I really want to go off on the evangelical community. I really want to go off on the evangelical community. I'm gonna say this right now. I hope what happens about to happen, because Iran just fired shots at Israel, right? I hope when all this is dealt with, I hope they march y'all. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone because I blame the evangelical community for starting this war or advocating for this war for the past shit ever since Clinton was in office. All right, ever since Clinton was in office, they've been asking for us to bomb Iran. I got to talk about that later on. Anyway, I'm out. And I gotta go to bed, y'all. If not though, I might come back and talk about World War III. Just might start. Yeah. Oh, George. Gee, like that BB. Oh man, y'all. Oh man, I don't know if Ty City did a live stream about it last night, but I'm watching the BB Netanyahu trial. While everybody's watching about the war that BB is bombing Iran and shit, I want y'all to watch the trial in Tel Aviv. Nobody ain't talking about that trial. They march him in front of the courtroom, right? About those stealing money from the from the taxpayer, from the Israeli taxpayer. Oh man. And he did that just as he bombed Iran. Bruh, I'm kind of scared to do it now. I'm kind of scared of doing that live stream. I read the Israel Times. The Israeli Times. I know, is it called the Israel Times or called the Jerusalem Times? I forgot what it's called. I'm reading the article. You know what? Fuck it. I might have to do this on my other channel. I might do this on my other channel. Cause shit, the man is about to go to prison, and he just started off a war. George, I see it too. Those things keep popping up on my feed. Every time when you talk, you mention him, or you say his name, those charity ads come up. See, I think all this is fabricated, because I want you to notice something, George. They always talk about Mog and Magog, right? The kingdoms of Mog and Magog. It's in the book of Revelations, right? I'm about to go deep and scary on this shit. Mog or Magog, one of those nations, supposed to represent the Northern Kingdom. So the Northern Kingdom that they possibly is talking about is possibly Russian or Turkey. But Russia's at war. Now, I'm trying to figure out who is Mog. You know what? I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm gonna drop it right there. I'm gonna drop it right there, y'all. That I'm about to go off the deep end. See, I think all of this is fabricated. They won't certain people die off the planet because they can't pay. See, some of these countries want to kill off the poor off. They want some of the poor people to die off the planet. And some of them are sucked into the military industrial complex. You know what, George? I gotta talk about this later, man, because I'm not going to bed with that on my mind. Okay, I want to go to bed with that on my mind, so I'm gonna get off of here. So anyway, I'm out of here. You know, y'all be easy. I might come back for the afternoon. Who knows? I'm out. Peace.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.